is up, do happy listeners, watchers, and observers? This is just a place where we talk about how you can be you, how you can release the power of you, how you can live your purpose, how you can do it with a smile. And we're all just journeymen on this together. None of us have all the answers. Some of us are a little bit further down the path. And I don't often bring in others. This is kind of like, I don't know, I just like to be here alone with you. But there's someone I'm bringing on that has been such a part of just the DNA of who I am, what I've done, the adventures I've been able to have. And how could I not share this awesome goodness with you? So I'm bringing on someone who I am a fan of, coach during a significant part of my life, a mentor, a sister, someone that every single time we ever talk, just like the fire ignites. And we thought like, let's just share this with some people. So welcome to the podcast, Teej Cummins. Thanks for hanging out with us, lady.
Brother Donnie, what an awesome introduction, and thank you. I will say that I feel the same way. Thank you for inviting me into this place where you share your heart and your joy with so many people. And I know that this is not a reserved spot for just anybody, so I really take it very seriously that I get to be one of the people with you today. So
yeah, that's my other podcast. Anyone can get on my other one. This one is like, this is my special place. I just want to ramp people into, and we have lots of places we can go to and we'll talk about. Yeah, but I want to bring people to the place of just deep impact in my life. There was a time where we were on our adventure, we were doing our thing, and I just felt stuck. There were certain things that were inside that wanted to come out. And here I'm in my 40s. This isn't too long ago, right? I'm in my 40s. And I still feel stuck. I wasn't able to move. And you helped me to have a word that I think is important to all of us. Very few of us have learned to claim it's permission. And Teej, you gave me permission to be myself, express myself, to do the things I felt like I should be doing. And the results were like, it was immediate, instantaneous freedom. Obviously, there was a lot of fear. But stepping into something new, and first off, I want to say thank you for that. But also, I wonder, like, have other people called you a permission giver too? Are you someone that goes around and do you have a wand where you just wave it at people and you help them to dig those things out too?
Well, first of all, I will say I do not have a wand, but I do have an intention, and maybe that is the magic wand, right? For all of us, it's just what is their intention and really knowing what it is that we're supposed to do. And I remember our conversations, and those conversations aren't comfortable conversations necessarily. So, you can't become what you're supposed to become if your goal is to stay comfortable. So that whole idea of that, but it was just so obvious to me that you were experiencing, a breakthrough, and all you needed was to recognize that you have the key. I like to use the analogy that when one door closes, another door opens, but it's the hallway where it feels so complicated.
Yes.
You were simply in the hallway.
Wow. Yeah, I was definitely in the hallway. I was definitely in the hallway. Do you find, like, so you're a professional coach. That's what you do as an occupation, as a profession. But so you get to you see inside of people's brains all the time. I guess that's why I was prefacing that. And also, hey, if someone's listening and you want to find Teej, we'll show you how to find her as well, because she's the bomb. But do you find that oftentimes, like, grown adults forget how to live in the place of their I amness, their place of creativity, their place of, and we get bunched up on our heads and we make excuses? Like, is that something, or was I unique at that time?
Well, I do find that, and I find it in my work, and to be completely transparent, one of the reasons I love what I do is because it's a reflection of me helping people do what it is that I've been able to do or that I'm actually moving towards doing. So that is one of the reasons why I love what I do so much, because it is really just a reflection of my own experiences. But that whole idea around permission is I believe that we're all born with a dream, or we're all born with a purpose. And truly, I believe that anything that trips you up, or if you're trying to be the deliverer of a dream that someone else has for you, but it isn't yours, I believe that that is one of the beginnings of being in the hallway. I would change this, but I don't want to disappoint Mom. I would do this, but I really, really love the company that I'm at. I would go after my actual purpose, mission, and vision, but you know what? I don't want to disappoint anyone, or my boss has poured so much into me, or all the things that we say. And I think it's a lovely gift that we have people that are dreaming for us. We just can't be the manifestors of all the dreams that others have for us.
This is so just the idea. I see this a lot. I think well-intentioned people endow us with their vision, and a lot of us, myself included for a very long time, we basically outsource that. And when we outsource it, we it's not that we don't have the muscle to do it, but Teej, I've run into a lot of people who, again, myself included, I'm not excluding myself from this, but sometimes even the courage to want, people don't even know they want a lot of times. And we do these vision boards sometimes, and it's amazing that when people dig into them, they get stuck. It's almost because they're afraid to want. Or if you ask someone, what do you want? What they'll give you is those patented answers, the things that they think they should want. But it's not like, not what should you want? Not what does your company want for you? Not what does what do your parents want for you? But like, what do you want? And are you okay? And I think even having permission to say, like, it's okay that I want something. It doesn't mean, like, without judgment. I don't know. Do you like, are we a visionless society, do you think? Or do you see the outsourcing of that as well? Or
I do. And I think of it like this. So when I think about even leadership or working with companies, many times we will have a leader or manager that wants to help us deliver on the productivity or the activity to get the productivity or the revenue or the results. And the way that I want to be able to experience leadership, and the way that I do it with my own team, and the way that I've done it in past jobs, is I want to be an imaginer with them. I want to be on their imagination team. I want to be on their dream team. Because I find the other way, for me, it has been soul crushing when I'm trying to deliver simply activity and productivity that isn't connected to my imagination of where I'm going. And so I think it's really pivotal. I think pictures are great, and I think vision boards work for a lot of things. I certainly have one. But I also know that I haven't felt connected to mine many times, but I can be connected to my imagination and imagining myself where it is that I am going, and then helping to crystallize a roadmap for that. But I have dream conversations with people on my team. I have dream conversations with people that I'm coaching. I invite them to dream, and I don't know what happened when dreams only became nightmares, especially for adults. But it's interesting to me when I ask an adult or a new client, so tell me about your dreams. Tell me about where you're imagining yourself 2 years from now, 6 months from now. Tell me about your imagination. They don't imagine anymore. where we had full permission to have a full-on massive imagination. We had imaginary friends, and we talked to them, and we knew what outfit they were wearing, and we were, imagined ourselves going on a trip. We were kids. It was a full-blown experience, and everyone applauded us for our imagination. I don't know what happened when we started to extinguish the imagination in people, and we asked them to simply convert to what it is that we're trying to accomplish as a company without their collaboration, right? Without their participation. Just here it is in a box. Go do this. And feel valued while you're doing it. That's important. And the expectation is that you stay engaged as well.
Oh, engagement. We'll talk. I want to dig into the engagement box in a second. When it's interesting. So I feel like a lot of times as adults, it's almost like there's the two sides of the have to coin. And so sometimes what you'll hear people say is like, I can't do this because I have to do that. I can't have dessert because I have to eat my peas. I can't, it's like I can't play because I have this other thing I have to do. I have a mortgage I have to do. I have these things, and we have all these things that we have to do. And a lot of times the people, the zombies, the place where we've kind of gone colorless is where we've given up that ability to dream. And then there's the other side of the have to. It's I'm like, well, if I dream it, now I have to actually do it. Like, it's like, and no, you don't. Like, imagination, a part of it is just like, it's the playful, it's just being playful in that zone. I want to hear how you have those dream conversations. There was one of the guys I'm connected with. I love how he has an idea partner, and every day they'll like the way they'll start their day is they'll do 10 ideas a day. And it's just like, wow, that's kind of cool. They don't execute on any of them.
Sure.
But they come up with 10 ideas a day, and they have one big, they do different things, but they have like one big one that they're, that they're attacking. But what do you like? I guess I'm so curious about how you can be an imaginer or an imagineer. How do you enroll someone onto your dream team and get their buy-in? And I guess maybe that does loop back to the beautiful word called engagement.
Yeah, for sure. The conversation around dreaming is, first of all, it can feel clunky. If I just said to someone, so tell me what your dreams are. Tell me what your dreams are for the next 5 years. I mean, certainly you dream, right? You dreamed last night. Tell me what your dreams are. I will really usually feel like, what is she talking about? I thought this was going to be coaching and sales and leadership. Why are we talking about dreaming? I'm here for techniques, and they're all important. And we do deliver on the technical piece too. But the conversation around dreams, it is really an opportunity or permission to connect to your emotions behind your productivity. It is an opening and an opportunity to connect to the emotions that will drive the activity, that will drive the productivity. And when we don't have that, we just have systems, processes, and expectations, it will create disengagement because the conversation isn't collaborative, and because the conversation doesn't have a contribution, an emotional contribution to what it is I'm trying to do. So, for instance, my leader, I've given him these 4 areas that this campaign that I'm working on. And so I'm taking a joyful approach to what it is that I'm trying to do this year. But the areas are my activity, my visibility, my creativity, and my accountability. That's it. How, under joy, each week, what is my joyful activity that I will be doing that gets the same sort of a result? Meaning, instead of dialing, I am simply a woman that makes connections and passes out or hands out invitations. That's all I did. I just pick up the phone and tell people that I can bring the party to them. I can bring the excitement to them. You don't have to plan it. You don't have to come and do it. You don't have to do anything. I'm just going to come and bring the party to you. It's just an invitation. That's it. And the other thing is that I create visibility around that. I give parties, I give events. I'm going to bring them to you. You don't really have to do anything about it. I'm going to post it. I'm going to do podcasts. I'm going to celebrate the fact that I'm a party planner and I come and do parties for you and your team. That helps with my mindset. I just have to change the metrics for things that excite me. The other thing, right, is the creativity, the creative ways that I promote them, the things that are not so much in a box, but they're the ways that I creatively enjoy celebrating or connecting or inviting. And then I'm willing to have accountability around it, because all of these things, these 4 buckets, are connected to my joy quotient. And so I'm measuring how much joy I had this week versus how much I sold this week. The selling will be the result of the joy.
So this is interesting. So we're talking about the reframe here, right? In terms of, right, just helping me to see it's not about what you do. And by the way, people approach you, people approach me, and the thing they want is they want the smash and grab. They want the cheap and easy. They want the techniques, baby. Tell me what you do. No, what do I do on LinkedIn? No, how do I get more of this? No, how do I get more of that? And the problem is that what you have comes from who you are. Yes. And what you have right now came from who you are right now. Or we can open up this other beautiful identity, the one that was given to you by Creator, right? And we can look at things in this way. And you just talked about, like, for yourself being able to, instead of feeling like it's doing these work tasks that don't have a connection for you, that there's a greater connection for, I guess, like, I'm a party planner, right? This is me inviting. And this is just me being joyful. Let's just say I'm a school teacher, or I'm an EMT, or I'm a construction worker, or I'm a kid, I'm a teenager, growing through things. And we have the things that we have to do, or the things that I'm just trying to get through. Like, how does that reframe work for others? The one that you just now beautifully did on yourself. Like, what? I don't know. I'm curious just to hear.
Does he hear how the reframe works?
Yeah, I mean, like, just how it works, or maybe experience, or maybe how some of these people could apply it. I know it works. Why does it work? How does it work? Where does it work? I don't know. Give me some reframe action here.
Yeah. Well, these work for me, right? This is the language that elevates and excites me. So creativity, visibility, invitations, connecting, planning, events, that's the language that evokes joy for me. So any company can certainly have their own metrics, but the words that someone is going to be living into, or the activity that someone is going to be living into on the daily basis, if we could just be open-minded enough, again, to be, part of the imagination of people. How do those words resonate with you? When you think about dialing, what do you feel? What do you think about that? Well, I don't actually like tracking dials or prospecting. Well, if you could do the same thing, but it was called something different, what do you enjoy doing? How do you enjoy connecting? Same results, same goal, 10 connections per week. I just don't necessarily connect with the language anymore, especially after so many years. I have to go in there and ruffle it up and change it to a new language that excites me.
Do you feel like we're tricking ourselves? Is that a part of it, or is there a real, like, what's real about it? I know it works. I'm just.
What's real about it?
No, I'm just like, are we tricking ourselves? Why does this work? Well, like, is it?
Because it's about us. Because it is about us. Because we're actually, again, asking or inviting people, colleagues, team members, to utilize the language that gives them joy so they can do more of it. That's it. Call it whatever you want to call it. If the result is the same, change it to the language that excites you. and collaboration and contribution, those words excite me.
Mm.
Some other language in jobs that I've had over the years, it doesn't evoke excitement in me. They feel soul crushing.
So
I don't want to track them. I don't want to wake up and look at metrics that feel so crushing to me first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Talk to me about this. This is like in the same vein. I feel like that. Well, first off, I know that we're all on a journey, right? None of us are going to get there alone. We all need other people to get to where we're going. And I know that you are. You do deep work in the world, in the land of inclusion. And there's lots of types of inclusion, right? There's family. I have 8 kids. Like there's an inclusion that happens there. There are people who are running companies. There, like we all have a pack. We have to get to where we're going if we hope to get to any place of significance. Talk to us about that word.
About inclusion?
Yeah, inclusion. Why is that important? What are you doing there?
No, it's important for, oh my God, Donnie, you just turned on a switch and a faucet in my head. Let me put the files back in some sort of order. The reason that it is important is because who are we as people if we miss the fact that when we do not have companies, groups, team members that feel as though they are included, then we will likely have a retention issue. And if the people do not feel as though they are contributing and collaborating and there's no opportunity for them to, and it is a natural thing for humans to want to connect and collaborate and contribute, and there's no way that they can, then there is the absence of feeling included. You know, it's interesting because as much as I finished my certification under diversity, equity and inclusion, or diversity, inclusion, and belonging, which is they've changed it to DIBS now. The reason why that's important is because that sense of belonging. And I have worked at companies throughout my career and over the 25 years that I've been in sales and leadership, where I knew for sure that the way that I thought or the things that I wanted to do or the things that turned the light bulb on in my head were just unwelcome. Get back in line, march to the same rhythm of everyone else, and just do this. And the feeling of being shackled and extinguished every day is what that felt like. When I was certain that I could contribute, I was certain that my ideas were valid. I was certain. Matter of fact, I remember having a conversation about an idea with one of the leaders at a company that I've worked with in the past, telling them the idea. They told me to kind of get back in line. And then that project was actually done in the company. I wasn't included in it, but the project that I actually had the conversation about was done in the company, and the leader took the pat on the back. Took the pat on the back for it.
Wow.
Yes. So there was no doubt that the ideas had some validity and that they could work. But the inclusion piece is really important, especially now more than ever, because if we have not been woke in the last year, I don't know what it's going to take. But because everybody on the team, why are they on the team if you don't believe that they can contribute? And the only way that they can contribute is if you include their contribution. It's just that simple.
You know, so as you're going through this, like I think a lot of places I've been at as well, and there are a lot of ways that you can mince that word. But I even think about just in I would say all human, maybe not all human psychology, but the majority, it's like, if you're not included, you're not engaged. We all want to feel understood. We all want to feel value. We all want to feel like that we have a say in our own destiny, and also, like you said, contribute. Yeah. When we don't, when we don't, what happens is people form alternative bands, right? Alternative forms of thought, and usually it's counter to whatever it is that's happening. And so if you're in a family and you're not including your children, nope, my way or the highway. If you're in a company and you're totally like not open to the contribution of others, you're first off creating a counterculture, which is a really strong negative. And next off, it's like to me, I feel like it puts a cover over the talent, the gift, the beauty, the wonderment, like all of these awesome things that are in people that open up when they feel understood, listened, seen, heard.
Yeah. It's like coloring with only the brown crayon when you know that there's a 64 count box. Mm-hmm. And you only get to use one crayon. Clearly in your head that there are 64 colors in the crayon box. If someone hands you the brown, and that's the only color you get to color with for the duration of being here. We only use the brown crayon.
And you can ask questions. It's funny, like in terms of, I've heard people, I'm sure it's done in a comedic way, but they're like, Teej, what is your favorite color and why is it red? It's like I'm telling you what you have to say, right? It is that. What are you excited about? What are the things that Teej Cummins gets to do? You've had an amazing journey, and maybe we'll dig into that in a second. What are you excited about that you get to evolve into now, or maybe what are some even recent evolutions in the life of Teej?
Well, I'll be a bit transparent. I have been on a journey since September the 5th of I'm not going to use the word battling because I don't like it when people say someone lost their battle with cancer. Like, I don't understand the lost their battle. But what I will say is, and I don't have cancer. Let me clear that up. I don't have cancer. But in any case, I've been on I've been fully engaged in being a warrior for my own health in the last, it's almost 12 months now. So 11 months. And it has been interesting what is required of a person when they simply say, I'm not willing to die. Mm. That's it. I don't care what you say. I don't care what we have to do. I have already decided, no matter where you take me and what you tell me and all of the pieces and parts, I'm simply unwilling to die. And no one told me that I'm dying. Mm-hmm. However, the solidification, the standing up for that, I don't care what the test results show. I'm just unwilling to stay in that place of only living for the next medical results. And talk about a brown crayon. that living in that place where there's 2 or 3 doctor's appointments per week, or on the calendar, you just see medical. So that has been really interesting. But as of I had some evolution around it in the last few months around how I'm going to run my own medical care as opposed to the organization that has been manning it and planning it and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to manage and engage and collaborate and contribute and commit, right? I'm going to be fully engaged in my own medical care, my own medical treatment, and what works for my body works for my body. So what I'm excited about, to wrap that up, is that I'm excited that the same measurements around creativity and visibility and accountability and engagement and significance and all those same words, they don't just apply in business. They also apply in the way that I approach or have learned to approach my own healthcare and my own well-being.
That is so powerful. I mean, like, I feel like it's that permission word again, a part of it, but it's like how do we see ourselves? And I feel like it almost, there's so many systems and again, I'm not saying it's, done out of ill will, but they seek to turn you into a 5-year-old. And I think the medical community is one of those, like, you're here, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do this and this. And they even use serious words, tones like this. And they tell you, and it's like, it's like, truthfully, these things are still like, everything is optional as far as I know, most things. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I saw, we watch, occasionally there's a guy who does the daily dose of the internet. Hilarious. If you ever want to lose, an hour of your life, but laugh at the same time and be kind of inspired, daily dose of the internet's hilarious. But there's a guy who is being brought into an emergency room, and he gets up off of the stretcher because now he didn't want to pay for the medical bill. So I don't think that's a great reason to run away, but he literally gets up and runs away from the hospital. And this is like a real, I think it was probably another country, and somehow was caught on someone's dash cam or something. It was pretty funny thing. He's like, nope, I'm not down for that. And I don't think that, I don't think we need to ignore, get away. Like, I think medical care is a wonderful thing. However, not being in charge and feeling like you don't have efficacy or whatever, I think that's destructive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really scary to be caught up in the tornado of it all. And when you're already uncomfortable and you're feeling this desperation for someone to help, and you're at the mercy of the decisions that they make, and you're just living for their next decision. So whatever you say, you just go, okay, that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, let me move my life around because you have told me my next decision. So let me go live into your next decision for me. This is what you said. And don't forget to get that refill on that medication that keeps you giving me permission to make all your decisions.
Oh my gosh.
If you're doing that, then you're saying yes every day, even if you feel like maybe I want to see if I can kind of wean off of some of it. No, whatever. Like it is just this here's my life, my world, my time, but here's everything. Here it is. Please just take it and manage it for me. Because as soon as I came in here with my PPO, I was off on the tangent. And I am not saying that there are some things that really need some care. I've had a couple hospital stays. I've had several biopsies in the last 6 months. It has been a journey. It is painful what I'm experiencing and all of that. However, I believe that the power of my mind is needed versus keeping me sedated so that I don't make decisions. I have to be a part of this, and I have to be willing to be a little uncomfortable, like today. I'm in pain today, but I have to be willing to be uncomfortable to be whole-minded. And I'm willing to dance uncomfortably to remain whole-minded and a part of my own decision-making.
Wow.
I cannot sedate my dreams.
That's amazing. I was actually, when you were going through that, it's kind of sad, but just real. Like when you were saying that it's like, I'm not going to wait on, like, it's almost like you're I'm permission is what's branded in my brain, but it's like, I'm waiting for your next decision. I'm waiting for your next decision so I can see how I run my life. And we're talking about just really being subjected to another. And that's how it plays out in the medical community. But what you shared was actually how my wife described our journey once upon a time, where I just left teaching, I went into sales. I've been doing it for a few years, and here's what I'm going to do. Here's what we're going to do. There was not. We were newer at it. We didn't know how to contribute, and she felt like, well, I guess you're going to do what you're going to do, and once I find out what you're going to do, then I can find out what I'm going to do. And it's just like. Yes. And probably there were a lot of people around us who were the same. there was a squelching of a human soul, and a choice, and a strength and a power that wasn't realized when we were living that way. And I've likewise, I felt that way with certain things that she was doing. So like, and I see that in a marriage partnership. Again, there's any way that we can partner together. It's real easy for someone just to say, I'm the authority. Here's what we're doing. Blah, blah, blah. Talk in my doctor voice. And it's kind of weird that not weird, but it's like, it's not, I don't think that type of, so I don't think it's a healthy way for contributing people to talk. Now, certainly I think if someone is unable to make a decision or unable to or incapable, then someone has to step in and command and get them through. But I wonder how much of that is out there, though, just in residual places.
For sure. If there is something, this is my, never-ending joy,
Love it.
My never-ending joy. There is something about someone telling you need to see a specialist, and the wait is 6 weeks, and they are the great and wonderful Oz, right? and you're just Dorothy out there trying to like get to Oz because Oz has the answers. And every little step you're making until Oz has an opening on his schedule. It's like, pay no attention to the man behind me. It's like, right? To only find out that we're just talking about a human. He's just a human who may not know exactly what it is that you need so that you can feel well enough to stay on the journey. Not stay on the journey, but to feel well enough and whole enough and well-minded enough to stay on the journey. I am not against any sort of medical care.
Agreed,
but I will
yes.
tell you, if I feel like we're having a collaborative conversation and I'm a part of it, and it isn't, this happened, so it must mean this, and this happened, so it must mean this. Like, I waited six weeks to see Oz. Like, come on now. Come on, brother. Let's individualize this stuff. Come on, check your girl out. Can you help me? So it is that. So I have been willing to ruffle some feathers and ask for exactly what I want and tell them to pivot and talk to me. Hey, you're looking at a screen. Could you pivot and talk to me? I actually waited 6 weeks to have a conversation with you, and you're looking at paperwork. I need you to engage with me.
What reactions have you gotten as you go in like this? Because I feel like the most of it, it's interesting. Again, like it's just so easy for us to snap back into the 5-year-old, like, oh, yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. Right. It's like, but like, what has been the response? Have people been surprised? Have you pulled anyone out of their little bubble of like the zone? I don't know. Like what have you seen?
I'm willing to see it. First, let me say that. I'm willing to see it. And you can see that any sort of coaching around engaging with your patient or your client, that is an area that I would say that could use some work.
Oh, yeah.
The 5-minute, the 10-minute conversation, the mispronunciation of your name or not even asking how your name is pronounced. Looking back at what it is, what you've done this, and it's a 15-minute conversation that you waited 6 weeks to have, and you're waiting for you to tell me that I don't go on another journey to the next level of doctors, and you've misbehaved during our 15 to 20-minute conversation. I'm going to tell you what it felt like. I'm going to tell you what it felt like. And I can't tell you that anyone has liked it. And yes, I have had pushback. But I also believe that 15 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it is that I've waited for 6 weeks to find out what we're going to be doing about something that keeps me alive, I need you to be fully present in it because I'm going to be alive. And if you don't understand that I'm here to live, not here for you to decide what the new medication is, I'm here to live. So I need you to be present with me because I'm alive. And having those conversations just required it. I can tell you, I've made some people uncomfortable that have gone to the doctor and like, oh, well, here she goes again.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
She's getting ready to tell him. I don't think face me and talk to me and engage with me is too much to ask.
Agreed. Did you have you had any people get either weirded out or because truthfully, if you don't practice the muscle, you probably you don't use it, you lose it. So probably you're dealing with a lot of people who are used to not having to deal with people. Did you get any adverse reactions to that? Any allergies to Teej's approach?
Yes, just last week when I said what I said and I flew back home for an appointment that was really important. I left our big company meeting. I flew back home for medical care. And the person came in. There was no, hi, Teej, how are you today? How have you been doing? What's going on? Let's kind of get. There wasn't. It was the walk in, sat at her computer, hello. She said hello or good afternoon, whatever. And I had someone with me, and she sat at the computer. She looked it up. She's looking it up. The test results. She hadn't looked before, so she's looking at the test. Okay. Well, here's where things stand. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Hi. I'm going to start crying. I've been nervous about this for the last 4 weeks. I flew home to find out what's going on. Or can you at least be comforting? She's this. Mm-hmm. And I actually said, excuse me, could you, the first appointment with this particular person, can you kind of talk to me? Like I'm actually the patient. And this person said, I can see you the patient because your picture is here. We use that for identity. My little picture was on the computer screen. So she's like identifying.
So she's looking at the picture. Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, I can see you. Your picture's right there on the screen. Oh. Thank you, specialist.
Oh my gosh.
So for people that are going through that whole part around, I'm committed to being well, but I feel like I'm caught in the cycle of medical care. Go do this, wait for this, stop this, take this. Oh, stop taking that, take more of this, take 18 milligrams, change it from 3. Oh, you're still uncomfortable? Well, you could go up to 1,800 milligrams with that one. I know. But my vision in my right eye is blurry. True story.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Teej, I could talk with you for hours on hours. I think we know that. Let's go ahead and we'll land for now, and I'm sure we'll come back for more and more and more. This is the buffet that we get to have.
Thank you for letting me just go.
I love it. I love it. Here's my you can choose your own adventure. I'm going to give two potential landing spots, and I definitely want you to tell people how they can connect with you. But the two places I see. So one is maybe speak to the person who needs to take back some of their own authority and become empowered. Maybe they're going through health stuff, or maybe it's job stuff, but they need to take back their own authority and be able to stand up as an equal in the process of what's happening. Or maybe there's someone who is stuck in the mundane and they're not dreaming. I heard recently that people who see the future negatively tend to act with basically conservatively and based on the past. People who see the future positively tend to begin to do new things and are willing to stretch into like the whatever, just new stuff. I don't know. So you can go either way. So you can go imagineering and moving towards that, or we can go towards empowering people who are in the place of that they need that, whether it's medically or in the job place, or you can just go Teej crazy and go wherever you want to go, because I trust you with any of this. But take us one direction and tell us where to find you, and then we'll say goodbye.
Okay, a couple things. One is I truly believe that every human being has the power within them to unleash and untether from that which does not serve them.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
From that which does not serve them. It doesn't matter if it's the wrong doctor. It doesn't matter if the way that they're interacting with them doesn't serve them. All you have to do is seek and ask. That's it. Seek and ask. Whatever it is that doesn't serve you, make a list of that, right? Make a list of that. And then just start going back down the list. Take care of one or two of them a month. What is not serving you? What is actually extinguishing your joy? Whatever it is, you have the power to unleash and untether away from that thing. I think that's first. It's hard to make a decision for what's good when you're shackled to so much yuck. It just
so
is.
Good. So good.
So that. The other things are is separating what you think from what you believe. I really think that I better stay with this doctor because, he's a doctor and he's blah, 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 blah. Do you believe that that job, that doctor, that whatever has your best interest and is totally focused on getting you to the place you want to go? Do you believe that? Job, doctor, relationship, it doesn't matter.
It's all the same, yeah.
What do you think versus what do you really believe? And you go with your core beliefs. What do you believe? Your thinking won't serve you. Your believing is always what you follow. Think versus believe.
That's so good. That is so good. That is so ground level, like boots on the ground. You can put into action wherever you're at in whatever scenario you're at. That's what I love about you. You're able to connect all things, the great connector, the great permission giver, the great coach, empower. Teej, how can we find you? Where are you at? How can people connect with you? How can we follow you? How can we get into some Teejology and hear what you're about?
Well, I'm just a person who just passes out invitations looking for people to connect to, right? I said it early on. Connect with me. I invite you to do that. On Instagram, you can find me, connect with me super easily. Strategic, with Teej in the middle, STRATEEJIC. Strategic coach, super easy. If you are a texter or you're not an Instagram kind of person, then text Teej. Text Teej, 561-320-4521. 561-320-4521. Text Teej. Make it super simple. If that's the way that you like to engage. And you can always find me on LinkedIn. Southwestern Coaching, elite level coaching for leaders, sales professionals, and anyone with a dream that you're ready to give birth to.
Love it.
I am your midwife.
The midwife of dreams. That sounds like a great either book title or band's name. We could go with, or even like what are the craft beers. Teej, thanks for hanging out with us today. Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for bringing the fireworks. And we'll say goodbye for now.
Most easy with one of my favorite people. Thank you, Donnie.